Hi, in this short video, I'm going to share the 8-step or 10-step, 8-step Tai Chi form. There's many variations of this form um, based on the purpose behind the person doing it. It could be for martial application, it could be for someone that's a competitor, it could be for someone that's doing it for, we'll say, internal development, breathing, mindfulness, those type of things. And then it can also be done for calisthenics. Today, I'm more focused on utilizing the form and sharing it for calisthenics, meaning we're trying to work on our leg strength, our core strength, overall balance, coordination of the body. So, I'm going to do it, the form itself, and at the end, at first, I'm going to talk about the pieces as we do it. So let's start here. We can start with our feet together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly bend my knees and raise this heel. And I'm going to step out. I did it from the side. Bending the knees, I raise the foot and I step out. Now, I'm going to try to fix my posture. I want to make sure that my hip is under me and that my shoulders are relaxed. I'm not expanding my chest or leaving my back rounded. And I want to feel like I'm lifting my head from the crown. So just fundamental aspects. So even if you're doing it for martial application or internal development or even a competitor, you would still want your posture to be correct. Now this form, like others, there's a commencement, and it requires raising the hands in some way. And when I say raise the hands, it's really more I'm raising the wrist, and then I'm going to kind of sink into my legs a little bit. Okay. So in most Tai Chi forms, that is, well, I'd say the majority of them. There's some way of engaging to start the form, okay, or commencement. So in doing this, the person's engaging the legs, and throughout the forms, you're going to try to keep the legs in this kind of, somewhat of a bent position. If you did any type of a sporting activity, even running or basketball or golf, you need to be able to keep the legs open or the knees open so that you can pivot and move and change. So if you think of it like that, it's a good way to look at this opening to begin with. Now this first move is called Repulse the Monkey. And in reality, Repulse the Monkey utilizes the legs, and the person you would end up stepping back as you extend the hand forward in some fashion or way. You would do this action. Okay. Well, this is a fundamental form of beginner routine in a sense. And so the legs aren't being utilized, but what they're wanting you to do is turn the waist and use the hands at the same time and forego the feet. So from here, I'm going to raise the hands. And in this situation, I'm going to use the right hand first. So as the hand drops, I'm going to twist upon the waist. Now, some people will do this all the way back here, which aesthetically it looks fine to do that. Twisting like this. Me personally, we're going to bring the hand to the side, and I'm going to twist the waist. I'm going to bring the hand up, and I'm going to extend it back out. So, again, I'm going to do most of this from both directions, so easier to kind of follow. So the hands come up. As this hand falls, I go to turn the waist. Now, if you feel like a pulling on the knee, you can turn the knee. See how I turned it? To me, I prefer that. Now, as the hand goes back forward, the foot would turn back. See? Now, as this hand drops, I'm going to do it with the left side. And turn me out. And now, as the hand comes up and back to the front, the foot turns back in. Okay. Now, the next move is brush knee twist step. So all of these moves in this form are very popular in regards to, they're done in pretty much every Tai Chi form. They may have different variations or it may look somewhat different, but it's still the same move. So after we did this piece to the side, as I go to bring the hands up, I'm going to turn this foot in. I'm going to turn this foot out. And my hands are here. I'm not stiff or attached. And look, my torso is pointing here instead of here to the front. Now, as I shift the weight, the hands are going to follow with me. So I shift. Okay. So transferring the weight, and at the same time, I'm twisting the waist. You want to make sure that this foot is turned 45 degrees at least. Okay. Too far, and it'll affect your balance. And this way, it's going to take away some of the range of motion of the hip and the knee. So from here, hands are here. And if you look, this hand is just moving across to the side. But look, in reality, if you look at it, it's not so much moving as the body's moving. And then look, it will come down to the side here. Okay? So I'm going to cross. And this hand, as I shift the weight, it extends. Now some people do it this way. Okay? There's so many different ways to do this. To me, the arm is relaxed, the elbow and the wrist and the shoulder, and then as I bring the hand through, I'm kind of pointing with the fingers, and then the palm finishes. Okay? So then if I put them together, I shift and extend. Okay? Now, in this form, everything is done on both sides. So now, to get back to the other side, I'm going to take the weight off. I'm going to turn this leg in as I start to bring the hands up. See? Now, I'm going to turn this foot. But look, I'm going to be on the wrong side, okay? Because I have the way that I stepped out. So as I go to pull it up, you can bring it all the way up, or just bring it across. Meaning, see, I can bring it here and then step myself out. To me, it adds a little extra step for a beginner, but it's easier to maintain your feet the proper width apart. So like, for example, see if I turn my feet, see how the toes of my front foot are behind the heel of my back foot. If you end up doing it like this, it will take away your hip range of motion, and it'll take away some of your stability. So we were here, and I turn, and if I just do it this way, look, my foot will be off. So I'm going to pull it up, and if you watch some of my other videos where I'm talking about stances, it will explain this. So I'm kind of pull up in a T stance or a cat stance, and then look, I step out, and this is more of a crouching stance. And now, as I do the motion, I shoot forward into my bow stance. Now, this front foot, you can either have the toes facing straight ahead or slightly turned in. I prefer to have the foot slightly turned in so that I can utilize my big toe better for pushing and for helping me to change. So there's our brush knee. We're going to go back the other way again. The legs are going to be the same. So I go to turn the foot in and bring my hand up. And I transfer the weight back. And now I'm going to pull the foot up and step out. And this is part the wild horse's mane. So as I shift the weight, this arm's going to go out and look at the angle. Not like that, but this way. So it's kind of a diagonal of my forearm. And this hand is here. Now you can do it this way or this way, and this can even be like this. There are preferences, and at the same time, again, it's what the instructor or what the person that's doing it, when you're watching videos, what is the intention behind it? So to me, this is more of an application, meaning I'm holding something and I'm using this to attach to something. Okay, so we're going to go back the other way, and I go to fold in. I'll pull the foot up, and I'm going to extend it out, so I make sure that I have the, again, the toe to heel alignment. And as I extend the body, it's like these hands, one is wiping over the top of the other. Okay, and this can be here, here, again, all variants. When you're watching videos, don't worry so much about those things in the beginning. Worry about getting the basic idea, and then the other pieces will come. Okay, now the next piece is cloud hands. In cloud hands, let's look at it like this. As I extend this leg, I'm going to attach this to it. You'll see it again. You'll see it done like this. You'll see even people do it this way. All different variations. I've got this angle again. See, somewhat of a 45 knot flat. And look, as I extend this leg, I'm thinking these things are attached. And now, when I go back across and I bring the leg to me, this is going to come up. And look, I still have that same piece, right? And then I step out. So most forms, the cloud hands just moves to the left, some left and right, some just to the right. But fundamentally, moving to the left is predominant. So we finished our piece, right? Our Heart of Wild Horses made, and the foot's this way. So look, I'm going to shift. See, I move this together, and then look, I'm going to bring this up. And me, I'm going to use my heel, and I'm going to push it down and send my leg out. See, and I'm facing here. I'm not facing ahead. I kind of want to move in the direction of the movement, and then I'm shifting back across. Now this form is short, so we're just doing an open and close of the footwork. Now I'm going to go back the other way, so look, I shift back, and then I bring the foot up, I shift across, and then I push it down, and then send me back. Right? So shift, 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 shift. Now, again, I'm just making an explanation. At the end, I'll show a very fundamental way to do the form itself, or the way I do it. So as I shift it across, now the next move is called Golden Rooster stands on one leg, and I'm going to do it facing this way. So I'm going to bring my leg up in my hand. Now there's a bunch of versions. You can do it this way, hand can be here. If you're new to this and you don't have good balance, you can just bring your foot to here, or you can bring it to here. It's all the way up to a diagonal, right? The other hand is just going to kind of base here like this. So what helped me, or what helps some of the students that I teach, especially when they're working on their balance, is think that the hand and the leg, they need to move in unison, right? See? It will help you. The other thing is, don't push your chin back or down. If you push it back, you'll have the tendency to want to feel like you're falling backwards. If you push it down when you do this, you'll feel like you're going to fall forward. I want to keep it straight in my torso, straight. So up, down, up. And you know, me personally, when I do this, I'm not thinking about lifting the foot. I'm thinking about lifting my knee. This foot, right? I don't put any. If you try to tighten up the foot or try to lift from the foot, it'll make it harder to pick the leg up. You can try for yourself. So anyway, so it's up, and down, up, and down. And one other thing to think about when you're doing this is, look, don't lock out this knee, right? Don't lock the knee out. See, I'm doing that. I'm going to keep this knee bent when I raise it up. So I'm really working more the lower abdominals and my lower core muscles, we'll say, in general. Okay. Now, so that's done right and left. The next move is kicking with your heel. Now, you can do the toe, it'll make it easier in the beginning. And two, you can come up and just kick to the front, this way. And if you want to increase the challenge of it a little bit, I'm going to turn, and I'm going to look to an angle, and I'm going to turn back and kick over here. So as I raise the hands, I pivot and I kick. And then I drop down. I raise the hands, I pivot, and I kick. Kicking in itself is a whole, it's a challenge. But try to coordinate the hands with the knee, see? And you can even just practice that onto itself. But some people, look, I'll kick down here with my toe, or kick here with my toe. You don't have to raise it so high. You'll see videos where it's a person that was a competitor or is a competitor, and they do Tai Chi for competition, right? And they're kicking everything up here, and they're doing this very slow and methodical. The average person that's coming to Tai Chi to strengthen their legs and their balance are not going to be able to do that. If it was for application, most of the kicking anyway would be toward the thighs or in this area of the body. So again, it's depending on what the person is doing it for. I would rather train it for application. And so, you know, defensively or offensively, I'm trying to kick in their leg down here. So again, in the form, I'm going to turn to the left, kick to the right, and from the right, I'm going to turn and kick to the left. Now, the last two pieces, I'm going to drop my weight down, and I'm going to turn. And I'm going to, as if I'm going to form a ball, and there's my cat stance. And this is grasp the sparrow's tail. It's a series of movements. So I'm going to step out onto my heel, and I'm going to shift the weight. Now, from here, I'm going to turn the hands over, and I'm going to move back. And then look, as I come back forward, there's that 45-degree angle again. And look, I'm going to kind of catch it under here. Out, move back, and then we'll come out and push. Now, you'll see people, when they do this piece, you will see them bending the leg like this and pulling it back. Nothing wrong with doing it that way, but you have to watch yourself. See, to me, what I'm doing is I'm sitting, like I'm sitting on a high chair. See? I'm sitting on a high chair. If you bend the leg, some people have the tendency to, when they pull the leg back, they almost lock the knee or lock it. And then when they go back forward, some will push past the foot with the knee. Yet others will even, see how I'm leaning? They'll lean, and look, then they'll lean back forward, and they'll lean, and lean back forward. You want to try to avoid those things. A way to try to practice it if you want to pull the foot up is, look, you see how my leg is, my knee, my leg. When I move back, I'm still going to make the sitting action, but look, I didn't do this with the leg. So I come here, and I go right back. See? If you feel that you can't do that in the beginning, do it from this fashion. See? Again, different purposes and why this is being done that way and why not. But you will see almost as many people doing it without raising the foot as raising the foot. Or they'll raise the foot only for certain parts of it, right? Like stepping up, right? So from here they'll pull the foot up and they'll step up, and maybe they'll step out, right? Pieces like that. So anyway, I did my push here, and I'm going to turn to the other side. I pull my foot up if need be, and I'm going to make sure I step out so I get the toe to heel alignment, and then I shift, and draw back. And now to finish, I'm going to do cross hands, and there's, again, many ways to do this. Maybe some are better than others. So my feet are like that, right? So look, I'm going to kind of cross. And look, I go to fix my feet. And as I bring my hands back up, I'm going to adjust. And then look, as my hands go down, I'm going to kind of straighten me back out. Not necessarily all the way. And then I'm going to bring this foot back. Like that. No, you don't have to do all of those pieces, meaning you can just start from here, right? When you do the form, and the same thing. You know, when I go to fix my feet, look. Okay. So you'll see some people are doing some form of a salutation. That's for competition. There's no one that you're giving the salutation to. If you want to add that in for to make it you know, to put you in that mindset for competition, that's great. Okay, so I'm going to do the whole piece, and I'm not going to do it overly slow, and I'm not going to do it overly fast, but I am going to do the piece. I'm going to do it this way, and then I'm going to do it facing that way, so you can see me from behind. Sometimes that's easier if you're looking at this to learn to practice. So I'm going to go ahead and start from here. And there's my commencement. And like I said, our repulsive monkey. So I raise the hands. I'm going to turn the foot. I turn back. I turn. I turn back. Now, I go to raise the hands. As I do, I go to turn my foot out. And this one, I go to place it. Okay. Now, I'll go ahead and step and shift. Turn the foot in. It's on the wrong side, right? So I'll pull it up. I step out. It slicks the right angle. I shift. I shift the weight back. I turn the foot. Go to form like a ball. I pull the foot up. I step out. I shift. I turn the body. I turn the foot. I pull the foot up. I step out, I shift. Now, I'm going to turn this foot as I turn this hand. I step, step, I step. Now, I'm going to bring this foot a little closer. I'm going to raise this hand, and then as this hand goes down, this one, the knee comes up. Opposite side. Now look, I'm going to go ahead and turn this way. Like I said, you can do it to the front. I raise the knees, I raise the hands, I pivot, I kick. And again, I'm doing it low. You can do it higher or even lower. I float kind of down. I'm going to bring the hands up, the knee, pivot, kick. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set the foot down. I turn me, pull the foot up, let the foot come out, and then I grasp the sparrow's tail.